All right, we're about to break down a perspective on polygyny that might challenge what you think you know. We're looking at an argument based on the work of Dr. Zakir Naik that frames this not as an issue of desire, but as one of social protection. Let's dive in.
So the entire argument we're exploring today really starts with one simple but pretty huge question. What happens when there just aren't enough men to go around in a society? What does that actually mean for women who want to get married?
Okay, so the source we're looking at kicks things off with some pretty big numbers. First up, the USA. The claim here is that there are 4.8 million more women than men.
Then you hop over to the European Union, and according to the source, that number more than doubles to a surplus of 10.2 million women.
And in Russia, the number cited is a massive 10 million more women than men. Now, I know these are just statistics, but stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to understand the core argument, that polygyny is presented not as a matter of male desire, but of female security.
So when you add all this up, what you get, according to the source, is a huge societal problem. It's a simple numbers game, really. If every single man marries only one woman, millions of women are left without a husband. This situation leads to what our source calls two harsh choices, and we'll reveal exactly what they are in just a moment.
And this is where the argument gets really personal. The source basically asks us to imagine if your sister or my sister was one of these millions of women, what are her actual choices in today's society?
Yeah, from this perspective, the options are seen as stark and incredibly limited. So let's take a look at the two paths that the source lays out.
And there you have it. The argument is that for these women, there are really only two paths. Option 1, marry an already married man, or Option 2, become public property. Now, I know that's a very provocative phrase, so let's unpack what is actually meant by that.
You know, what's really fascinating here is how the source defends using this term. He calls public property the most sophisticated word he can use for the alternative. So this isn't just some casual throwaway line, it is a very sharp and very deliberate distinction being made here.
Okay, so to really grasp the logic here, we have to compare these two options as the source presents them. The common Western practice of having mistresses versus the Islamic model of a co-wife. The distinction between these two is absolutely crucial to the whole argument.
The argument starts by critiquing the situation in the West. It points out that while having mistresses might be pretty common and socially tolerated, it offers the woman involved absolutely zero legal standing or security. She has no rights in that situation.
And this table just lays it all out in black and white. Just look at the two columns. You have the mistress, no rights, a degraded and hidden status, a totally precarious life, and then you have the co-wife who is presented as having full legal rights, respect, honor, and the full protection of the law. The contrast is really stark.
So this is the bottom line. The crucial point of the argument isn't really about the man, it's about the woman. One system offers a sort of informal, hidden arrangement. The other, it's argued, offers public, formal, legal rights and honor. But of course, this brings up the most human, the most obvious objection, right? The one we're all thinking, who would actually want to share their husband? Well, the source addresses this emotional reality head-on. The argument confronts this directly. It acknowledges that, yeah, this is a totally natural feeling for a woman to have. But then it reframes the entire decision. It's no longer about a personal desire, it's presented as a communal responsibility, a kind of sacrifice to protect other women.
And that reframing is the absolute heart of this argument. Accepting a co-wife is presented here as an act of solidarity. It's about one woman helping to prevent another sister from ending up in a life that has no rights or social honor.
And this brings the entire argument to its powerful conclusion, leaving us with a totally reframed debate.
So, let's just sum it all up. From this perspective, polygamy is not about a man's desires. Instead, it's framed as a practical, societal solution to a demographic problem, and the stated goal is to provide legal protection and social dignity for all women. It's a choice between two systems. And that leaves us with the final, challenging question posed by this argument. When you're faced with a gender imbalance, which societal structure truly offers a better safety net for all women? The one that informally tolerates mistresses, or the one that legally recognizes and protects co-wives? That's the question this argument leaves us with.